Hi, today I'm going to talk about Hollywood patterns. Learned to sew in 2008 and I basically learned to sew just so I could make my own vintage dresses because I was tired of, modern Target clothes. That's what I was wearing before. And when I learned how to sew, it totally opened up a world of, like, I don't want to sound corny, but expressiveness, creativity, and my favorite decades for fashion. My favorite era is probably late 30s, early 40s, like just before the war, before fabric got rationed, like when skirts were starting to get poofy and sleeves were really poofy. I really like that look. And because I've always loved movies, my favorite pattern was, of course, Hollywood patterns. This is every Hollywood pattern that I own. This one, I believe, this one right here with Francis D on it. Believe this is my oldest one. It actually has the name of a film on it, College Humor. And if you IMDb that, that is 1933 it was made. Now, Hollywood patterns are actually poor man's Vogue patterns. They were made by the same company as Vogue, Condé Nast, and they were around from 1932, and they abruptly ended their making, whatever you want to call it, in 1947. So 1932 to 1947 was the lifespan of Hollywood patterns. Now, what I like so much about Hollywood patterns, of course, is the film star on the cover, because you could look like a film star. I mean, there we have Francis D. Ruby Keeler here, beautiful Hollywood pattern dress here. Some of them didn't have film stars on the front, but that's okay. Still a nice wrap dress there that I made. I made that one. There's Carole Lombard. Some stars go for like a lot of money, like Carole Lombard patterns will go for a ridiculous amount of money. Another one is Lucille Ball. I don't have any Lucille Balls, but I have a Betty Davis. She goes for a lot of money, and of course I have a tattoo of that pattern girl on my arm as a tribute to my sewing. And I actually made this dress out of pink polka dot material. So I have the same dress as my tattoo. I have a child's pattern here. I just liked it. I just thought it was so cute. I had to have it, and it was really cheap, so I bought it. But I was going to resize it, but I never got around to it. Some of these are copies that people made me. I think a girl on LiveJournal. She wrote it on like plastic. The pattern pieces is really awesome. And of course, this one has Margaret Lindsay on it. Beautiful, beautiful dresses, detail. This is a favorite. It's Kay Francis. She's one of my favorite actresses. And the dress is just, I love that late 30s look with the flared bell skirt, A-line skirt, I guess you would say, and the big puff sleeves and the sweetheart neckline. Love it. I believe Andrea on my Facebook lent me this, and I made a copy of it. There's a few I made a copy of. That one. Michelle on my Facebook. And something interesting about these patterns is that they're dated on the back. Some people tell me that you shouldn't go by this, but I find them to be accurate about 100% of the time, especially when there's a movie. Okay. Let's try. Right here, it says remake 2/1/43. Down here, 2/1/43. Looks like 1943 to me, and it has Priscilla Lane on it of Four Mothers, which was out the previous year, 1942. So, gonna say this was 1943 when this came out. This one was the Betty Davis one. You can see a faint 36 down there. Looks like a 1936 dress to me. Here's another one. 43. Sharon Douglas, a very unknown actress. I always go by that date stamp on the back because every time there's a movie on there, I've never had one that didn't correspond with it or wasn't like a year later. So, I mean, if you have a better way of dating these, then please do. Please let me know because it's the best way I know how to do it. Some of these they're on my bed here. Here's a later one. That's what the packaging looked like. Later ones, they kind of don't have as many film stars on it. I believe this one is 44 there, it says. I have all the Lane sisters. There's Lola. Of course, Priscilla on the pajamas there. And I have Rosemary here on a slip that I bought. I bought that at Reading Air Show. I got all these patterns for a steal, and it is possible to find them for a steal if you look in the right places. You don't have to spend $90 or whatever ridiculous amounts people are spending on patterns now. All 100% original. Some of them, you know, I had to make copies of. This particular pattern is very brittle. I had to make a copy of it. As you can see, these pieces are the copy. It's got a very young Betty Grable. It's actually one of my favorite patterns. I've made this dress 3 times. So wonderful. This one came with the front piece here was missing. So I contacted the shop and he let me have a replacement pattern for free, any pattern I wanted, which was very awesome. I forget the shop or I would totally plug them. And I haven't been sewing as much recently because of school. Getting a bachelor's degree right now, but I'd like to pick it up again. I have all these lovely patterns and I just feel like they're going to waste. They need to be made. And I've made some of them, but not all of them. And that was a short, brief history of Hollywood patterns.